guest this evening, ladies and gentlemen. He recently landed on The Rock, but he's familiar with The Rock because he's of Jamaican heritage. You've seen him on Oprah's A Love Town, have you? That's right. He's our modern day Hitch. I like it. I'm so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together and make welcome Paul Brunson.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna tell you what. Wait, hold on. That's how you know you're Jamaican. They're like, no, you broke it down. I like that. So how's everybody doing? All right. Everyone has a drink? No. All right, who has red stripe in their hand? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. I was saying that if I were to get a tattoo on my neck, I would put red stripe, I think, on my neck. So this is one thing I want to say is that song is the song that I come out to every time I go and do a show. No matter where I am, that wasn't just a Jamaica, Kingston thing, all right? That was me. Every time I do a show, I do that. And what's fascinating is that every time I do a show, if it's somebody that is from Jamaica, loves Jamaica, just their great-grandmama lived in Jamaica, they go crazy for that song. Crazy. And everyone else looks like, what is this? What is going on here? Right? But then slowly, everybody gets it. And what I love about it is that I feel like there's such a strong community in Jamaica. And yes, y'all can clap for that. And that's why it's an honor. I thank Gail, I thank Janine for bringing me here, because my grandfather was born right here in Kingston, and he passed away a year ago. And for him to know that I was here, his grandson came here, right, to talk about something, right? That would have meant a lot to him. So thank you very much for that. So we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, we're going to talk about business, we're going to talk about what I learned from Oprah, and I'm going to talk about what I learned being married, right? Been married now for 13 years, been on 13 years. Thank you very much. Jill, my wife, what she said is, she said, you know what, Paul? Maybe you'll be hitched one day. That's not supposed to be funny. But she was like, maybe you'll be hitched. I said, hitch? Will Smith? That's corny. I don't want to do that. And so we went to bed, right? The next day I woke up and I was like, hold on for a second. That's an interesting idea. So my wife and I then started brainstorming different ideas, and this is what we came up with. We came up with this. First is, can you see this? Values. Values. What are your values? Your values are your guiding principles to life. Your values are like your rule book, right? Now here's the thing that's interesting about values, is a lot of my clients, they come to me and they're like, Paul, here are my values. Generosity, compassion, knowledge. That's what I want, that's what I have. But here's what I want him to have. I want him to be tall. I want him to have all his teeth. But here's the thing, is A, those aren't values, right? Secondly, is that you can only ask for values in someone else that you already have, because you can't change anyone. And also, you can't expect anyone to live in your life that doesn't already follow your rules. And your rules are your values. So the first question, and this is a very challenging question for a lot of people, is ask yourself, well, what are your values? Right? What are your values? And the book gives exercises around how to figure that out. And then you prioritize your values. So that's number one, right? Figure out what your values are and prioritize them. Now actually, before I even go to the next slide, I want everyone just to think right now about some of their top values, okay? Think about what guides your life. Next up, personality types. Anyone heard of Carl Jung? Okay. Carl Jung is really the godfather. He's the originator of personality archetypes. Now here's what's so important about personality, is you often hear people talk about chemistry, chemistry's got to be great. Chemistry's got to be sparks and flying. Chemistry's got to be everything. Really, what they're talking about is, do we have a complementary personality? Can we give and take? Can we ebb and flow in conversation? The reason why this is so important, and by the way, values and personality type applies to business as well, is that you cannot, I repeat, you cannot be in a strong relationship with anyone, platonic, business, romantic, unless you can communicate and you can resolve problems. Sweat the details, you identify everything that you can control and you control it. Then third, you say, you know what? I can't control everything, so the things that I know I can't control, I'm going to surrender.
I surrender all to thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all.
I want to share with you my story of surrender, okay? When I grew up, I watched the Oprah Winfrey Show. Well, you know, 25 million of us watched the Oprah Winfrey Show. And I don't know about you, but all I wanted to do was not just watch it, but I wanted to sit on her couch. Didn't you guys want to sit on the Oprah couch? Because sitting on the Oprah couch was a form of what? Validation. It was like, you made it. I go down to Georgia and I'm working on set, and they had an office that was set up for me. And so between takes, I would do my work, right? I would manage my matchmaking and coaching business. So one day I'm just in there writing, then I hear this. Hello! I swear, it sounded just like that. Hello! And smoke, I felt like smoke, dry ice, everything was... And she walks in the door, it was like, wind was like blowing. And this is the interesting thing about Oprah, and this is fascinating to me, is that she really drives in a motorcade. Like, there's like 15 cars and security all over the place. Like, I peeked out the window, I mean, it's like helicopters flying, it's crazy. But there's a skill that she has, and I've noticed this is a skill that the best leaders in the world have, where she will make you feel like you're the only person in the room. You're the only person that matters. And to be quite honest, when I think back, I don't know if anyone else was in the room. I don't know if she came through with 50 people or just her, right? But she comes through the door and she says, Paul, I've heard so much about you, but I've heard you've been asking a lot of questions about me. And I said, yeah, Oprah, I have. And so she said, well, you know what I've decided to do is, you know, I love this show so much, I'm going to make a few appearances on the show, and we're going to do all this. And I was like, oh, this is great. And she says, well, you know what, I know that you have a lot of questions about me, so why don't we find a place to talk, right? And I said, okay, so where are we going to talk? Oh, man, I've got a couch over here. You're on your couch. So this part gives me chills every time I say it, is that I sat down with Oprah Winfrey on my couch and I proceeded to interview her. 2011. What this story tells me, and I'm not trying to get all religious, but it is what it is that God will dream for you a bigger dream than you could ever imagine. My takeaway today is a couple of things, right? First off is that we know this. The most important thing that we can do in terms of opportunity in our life is to expand our social circle. That's where opportunities come from. But don't just put anybody in your circle. Don't put everybody in your circle. Don't put anybody in your circle that's going to steal your joy, right? Put people in your circle that share your values. Put people in your circle that you can communicate with. Next up is realize that losing love is human. Losing opportunity is human. But so is loving again. That's human. So is opportunity, getting opportunity again. That's human. And it only comes by, first, right, some people are like working hard. Some working your butt off. I prefer ass, but it's okay. But that's one. 2 is controlling everything you can't control. 3rd is identify what you can. And last is surrender. That is the secret to success. Kingston, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.